Hey, this is Pastor Curry, pastor of the Ezion Fair Baptist Church, Wilmington's most exciting church, the church that love ya and anything you can do about it. Today with Coffee with Curry, we want to do a tribute to the African American community at large. For the next few weeks here at Ezion Fair, we will be giving tributes to whether it be the Black church, whether it be the HBCUs, whether it be excellence in America from African American people. But we want to make sure that we highlight the true history that we have. We have to stop entrusting the history of what we've been through and where we've come from in the hands of people who really may not even care about it. We must make sure that we speak loud and be proud of what God has done and has blessed us through. So today with Coffee with Curry, we have two tributes that we're going to present to you today. We're going to present to you the Black church, and we're going to do a tribute to the HBCUs. Why don't you call somebody real quickly, tell them Coffee with Curry is on, and let's get after it.
Good morning, Delaware and surrounding areas. You are now tuned in to this week's Coffee with Curry. Join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. with new guests every week. So grab your cup of coffee and join us on Coffee with Curry.
And we're back. Today we want to start off our program with just giving a moment to do our national Black anthem. So join me with our national Black anthem.
Rejoicing Life can throw a lot at us, but what helps us through it is knowing we have a place where we feel loved, grounded, and safe. A place where we belong, a place called home. But for thousands of youth living on the streets, there's no such thing as home. Out here, it's a predatory world that can destroy lives forever. At Covenant House, we care for homeless and at-risk youth, working in communities just like yours, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Here, these kids will get a shower, clean clothes, nourishing meals, and a safe place to sleep. Our caring staff teach life skills, offer stability, and encourage kids to believe in themselves so they stay off the streets for good. We're committed to giving lost, scared, and hurting children a place to go, a place to call home. To help or get help, go to safeplacetosleep.org.
We are women first, but women with disabilities last.
During a military exercise, we crashed and I broke my neck.
When I was in the Air Force, an accident changed my life. I couldn't have imagined the injustices I would face.
Every day, women like me go to the doctor for annual checkups for conditions like breast cancer. Early detection saved my life. But women with disabilities face a cruel reality: inaccessible medical facilities and equipment.
In the 25 years since my injury, I have not seen a gynecologist. There's not one accessible OB/GYN in my community.
I found lumps in my breast. I went to a doctor's office I was told was accessible, but when I got there, I couldn't get through the front door.
I don't know where I'd be today without access to testing. Our veterans deserve better. Help PVA fight for access at pva.org.
From inventors to singers, politicians to athletes, writers to agriculturists, history all too often overlooks the many valuable contributions to our society and culture by African Americans. Today, we take the time to remember some of the great African American men and women who have shaped our nation and world for the better. Benjamin Banneker was born in 1731 to a free mother and a former slave father. He had no formal education and was largely self-taught. Banneker went on to become a renowned astronomer, mathematician, and author. He published a successful series of almanacs and corresponded with Thomas Jefferson on the topics of slavery and equality, being admired by abolitionists for his work. At least 28 editions of the almanacs, some of which appeared during the same year, were printed in 7 cities and 5 states, including Baltimore, Philadelphia, and Wilmington, Delaware. Elijah McCoy was born in 1844 in Colchester, Ontario, in a family of fugitive slaves who escaped Kentucky through the Underground Railroad. McCoy invented an automatic lubricator for oiling the steam engines of locomotives and ships. By 1899, it was reported that the McCoy lubricator was in use on almost all North American railroads. Booker T. Washington, in his 1909 Story of the Negro, recognized McCoy as having produced more patents than any other black inventor up to that time. McCoy had as many as 57 patents by his death. George Washington Carver was born into slavery in Missouri in the 1860s and raised by his owners after the abolition, and is considered one of the greatest black scientists of the 20th century. Carver sought to improve soil depleted by cotton replanting, and urged farmers to restore their soils by planting new kinds of crops and rotating them out over time. These included sweet potatoes, peanuts, soybeans, and cowpeas. In his lifetime, Carver published more than 40 bulletins at the Tuskegee Experiment Station instructing farmers on how to grow and use these crops, including hundreds of recipes. Madam C.J. Walker was born as Sarah Breedlove in 1867 in Louisiana. She was the first of her enslaved parents' children to be born free. Walker made her fortune by developing and marketing a line of cosmetics and hair care products for black women through the business she founded, the Madam C.J. Walker Manufacturing Company. By 1917, the company claimed to have trained nearly 20,000 women. She began organizing her sales agents into state and local clubs, and the result was the establishment of the National Beauty, Culturist, and Benevolent Association of Madam C.J. Walker Agents. Mary Jane McLeod Bethune was born on July 10, 1875, a decade after the Emancipation Proclamation, as the 15th child of former slaves. In 1904, she started the Daytona Literary and Industrial Training Institute for Negro girls with $1.50, vision, and an entrepreneurial mindset. In less than 2 years, the school grew to 250 students. Bethune's school would later grow to become the Bethune-Cookman University. Jackie Robinson was born in 1919 into a family of sharecroppers in Georgia. Robinson broke the color line when he started at first base for the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1947, heralding the end of racial segregation in the MLB. During his 10-year MLB career, Robinson was the inaugural Rookie of the Year in 1947, was an All-Star for 6 consecutive seasons from 1949 through 1954, and won the National League Most Valuable Player Award in 1949, the first black player so honored. Robinson was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1962, in his first year of eligibility. Marie Van Britten Brown was born in Queens in 1922 and, along with her husband, was the inventor of the first home security system. She is also credited with the invention of the first closed-circuit television. Marie Brown worked as a nurse, and her husband, Albert Brown, worked as an electronics technician. The system included a camera that looked through peepholes and an intercom. The patent for the invention was filed in 1966, and it later influenced modern home security systems that are still in use today. Patricia Bath was born on November 4th, 1942 in Harlem. She was the first African-American female doctor to receive a patent for a medical purpose. She held 5 in her lifetime and is renowned for her advancements in laser cataract surgery. While at UCLA Jules Stein Eye Institute, Bath established the keratoprosthesis program to provide advanced surgical treatment for blind patients. The program continues today as the KPRO, and thousands of patients have had their eyesight restored with this innovative technology. She fought for health services for the poor and co-founded the American Institute for the Prevention of Blindness on the principle that eyesight is a basic human right. Oprah Winfrey was born in 1954 into poverty in rural Mississippi to a single teenage mother and later raised in inner-city Milwaukee. She is best known for The Oprah Winfrey Show, which ran in national syndication for 25 years. She is credited with creating a more intimate, confessional form of media communication, revolutionizing the tabloid talk show genre. Dubbed the Queen of All Media, Winfrey was the richest African American of the 20th century and was once the world's only black billionaire. By 2007, she was often ranked as the most influential woman in the world. Please continue to remember these great men and women and many others as you celebrate freedom, equality, progress, and excellence this Black History Month.
And we're back. I always love that part of the national Black anthem that says, God of our wearied years, God of our silent tears, thou who has brought us thus far along the way. Believe it or not, we, the African-American people, have been through a whole lot. And there's no room for hate. There's no room for us to despise anyone, because God of our wearied years is the God who has brought us, the God who has protected us, the God who has been there by our side. Years ago in the 60s, the Black nationalists, they would talk about and criticize the Christian church for worshiping in a religion that was given to us by our slave masters. And they basically said that, that was to make us better slaves. I disagree, and will forever disagree, because before we even came to America, we understood our relationship with God. I do believe with all of my heart, all that happened on Amistad, all that happened in the Middle Passage, God's hand was able to keep us, and we've come full circle. I don't want anyone to believe that the Black church is not relevant. It is. As a matter of fact, last Sunday, we did our message. For those of you who saw our 8 o'clock broadcast today, we did our message and we were very clear. We've had attacks against the African-American church, but we've always survived them. Now we're dealing with a different type of an attack. However, we will survive it because the redemptive hand of God is on the Black church. And I remember when he was talking to Peter, Jesus, when he was talking to Peter, he said, upon this rock, I will build my church, and even the gates of hell will not be able to prevail against it. I am a firm believer that if the people of God will continue to worship him, will continue to honor him, God will continue to cover us and protect us. I want you to take this time just to look at this tribute that we have prepared in honor of the Black church.
slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Oh, freedom.
In the rich tapestry of American history, Black churches have played a pivotal role, evolving through the different eras and leaving an indelible mark on the nation's cultural and social landscape. As early as the pre-Civil War era, evidence of Christian practice and praise houses existed. Evangelical Baptist and Methodist preachers during the Great Awakening directly appealed to slaves, resulting in conversations. Black individuals found a home in new congregations, notably the Baptist Church. Yet the struggle for freedom persisted. Nat Turner, an enslaved Baptist preacher, sparked an armed rebellion against slavery. Simultaneously, slaves organized invisible churches, blending Christianity with African beliefs. Spirituals became a means of communication, and in some cases, planning rebellion. With emancipation came new chapters. Northern churches, including AME and AME Zion, sent missions to the South. The National Baptist Convention, formed in 1895, emerged as the largest Black religious organization, fostering unity and resilience in the African American community. The Black church continued its legacy as a beacon of hope during the Civil Rights Movement. Renowned figures like Martin Luther King Jr., Ralph David Abernathy, and others emerged as minister activists, guiding the nation toward equality and justice. Beyond spiritual leadership, Black churches were focal points of community development. They faced tension between Northern and Southern leaders, reflecting the border struggle for independence and self-determination. Empowerment extended to Black women within the church. Middle-class women organized missionary societies, addressing social issues and contributing to education, economic growth, and the fight against racial injustice. As we reflect on this journey, the story of Black churches stands as a testament to resilience, courage, and the enduring spirit of a community that has shaped the course of American history.
I'll be buried in my grave. I'm going home to my Lord and be free.
Brothers and sisters, this is our tribute to the Black church. It has survived for over 400 years, and our latter will be greater than the former.
The challenges our planet's animals are facing sometimes feel a bit heavy.
The animals haven't eaten in a day, 2 days, they haven't drank anything, they're cold, they're dehydrated.
As soon as we started our descent, everywhere I could see was mud, just absolutely mud.
You know, the country has been in prolonged drought for so long, there's like a tinderbox waiting to go up.
Okay, very heavy. Each of us wants to be part of the solution, and we can be. Remember that there's good happening right now. At home.
All right, we were able to get into your unit, and we have all 4 of your cats. So,
okay.
And around the world. For any animal in any disaster. So let's focus on that, right? Be part of the solution, one rescue at a time. Search ifa.org/disaster ready.
I'm Naheem Hines, professional football player and proud supporter of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. My mom was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 14, and I watched her struggle. But MDA helped her get the best treatments and care, and they also help kids like my buddy Ethan.
My name is Ethan. Thanks to the Muscular Dystrophy Association and people like you, I have more hope than ever before. From day one, they've treated me like family at my local care center. MDA is the only one that funds over 150 care centers across the U.S. to help provide state-of-the-art care for adults and kids like me.
MDA has been transforming the lives of people living with muscular dystrophy, ALS, ALS, and other related neuromuscular diseases. They fund the research for breakthrough treatments, care, and cures. And MDA provides support to thousands of families like mine and Ethan's in communities like yours. Thanks to MDA, kids and adults can live life to its fullest. Join us and learn more at mda.org today.
A strong community is necessary in achieving excellence. It is the work of many that produces the excellence we have celebrated so far. To quote Gwendolyn Brooks, "We are each other's harvest. We are each other's business. We are each other's magnitude and bond." Today, as we continue in the third week of this Black History Month, we take the time to recognize those who devote themselves to the Ezion Fair community and keep our church and ministries running for those who need them. From the driven pastors who lead the church to the invaluable ministers, trustees, deacons, and deaconesses who support them. Reverend Jesse Givens was the founding pastor of Ezion Fair before it even had a building. He served from 1919 through 1950, and as the church grew steadfast, Givens organized such auxiliaries as the Pastor's Aid Club, Missionaries Circle, and choirs. Reverend Jimmy L. Henry served from 1951 to 1982. In 1974, Reverend Henry led our community in tearing down the church and erecting a new building. In just 7 years, the $225,000 mortgage was paid in full, 5 years earlier than expected. Reverend Rufus R. Johnson served from 1982 through 2005. He was a strong leader who kept Ezion Fair on the grow and provided counsel, guidance, and love to the many new members who joined in his tenure. Reverend Johnson was powerful, compassionate, and wise as he spread the gospel. Our current pastor, Reverend C.T. Curry, has served since 2005. In his pastorship, he has moved our church into a new building, established our current campus, built the incredibly versatile Wholeness Center to serve as a community hub, and begun construction on affordable living for seniors in our community. He currently leads our strong congregation as we work to burn our mortgage this year. None of these accomplishments could have been realized without the enduring support of our church leadership. Here are just a few examples of the amazing members who make it happen at Ezion Fair. Deacon David Allen joined Ezion Fair in 1952 with his parents under the pastorship of Reverend J. L. Henry. He has served in such ministries as the Male Chorus, Men's Fellowship, Gracie's Special Chorus, Transportation, Mass Choir, Sunday School, and was a founding member for the Golden Angels. Deacon Allen says that the Word of God is the driving force that kept him at this church. One memory he will never forget is his family orientation here. In his words, it is important to stay faithful to church because it's all about being committed to God. Mother Betty Woodland joined Ezion Fair in 1958 under the pastorship of Reverend J. L. Henry. She has served in such ministries as the Missionaries, the Sunday School, the Greeters, and the Mothers Ministry. She says that the first Sunday that she came to church, she heard Jay Caldwell sing, and that is what motivated her to join. She loves being around the church family, and she loves the Word, which made her a stronger believer in the Lord. She will always remember the blessed feeling of believing and trusting the Lord. Mother Woodland believes that there is no need to switch from church to church when you trust God and have a good pastor. Elder J. Caldwell joined Ezion Fair in 1962 under the pastorship of Reverend J. L. Henry. He is best remembered for serving in the male chorus. Elder Caldwell joined Ezion Fair after a couple of visits swept him up in the word and atmosphere, both of which he loved. He says that he stayed at Ezion Fair because of the down-home spirit, praying, and singing. He will never forget singing throughout his years at the church, which he will always love. It is important to Elder Caldwell to stay faithful to one church because it's not about us individuals, it's about God. Minister Arthur Cleckley was raised at Ezion Fair, as his family joined the church 60 years ago when he was a baby under Reverend J.L. Henry. He has served in such ministries as the Overcomers, Men's Fellowship, Missionary, and the Male Chorus. Minister Cleckley says that the unity is what keeps him at our church. He will never forget his position moving from a deacon to a minister, and believes that loyalty to one's church pays off. Trustee Diana Jackson joined Ezion Fair in 1970 under the pastorship of Reverend J.L. Henry. She served in the youth choir, the Henry Gospel Chorus, the Mass Choir, the J.L. Henry Choir, and the Ezion Recording Choir Ministries. Her mother brought her to church, and she chose to stay. The family-oriented nature of our church community is what kept Trustee Jackson here all these years. She will never forget the Bracey Special Choir, which endures in her heart and mind. She believes that faithfulness to one's church is important because it's about working for the Lord, not which church you're in. Deacon and Deaconess Burke joined Ezion Fair in 1973 under Reverend J.L. Henry. Deacon Robert Burke has served in such ministries as the Male Chorus, Sunday School, Scholarship, and the Holy Soldiers. Deaconess Mary Burke served in such ministries as the Scholarship, Sunday School, Henry Gospel Chorus, and the Senior Missionaries. They joined our church family because they loved the singing, preaching, and fellowship all around. They stayed because they could always be active in the community and were included in many ministries. They will always remember the love that they have received, especially from the pastors throughout their years in the old church. They are faithful to our church because they trust the word that is spoken here, which is what kept them going. Remember to appreciate those who nurture our community with devotion, passion, and love, and create opportunities for Black voices to rise up and excel far beyond their wildest dreams.
And we're back. I hope you enjoyed that little piece of tribute that we did for the Black church. The Black church have been around, and we didn't do a lot of time talking about those denominations that really led the way. The Baptist was a part of the strength of the Black church. Many of you who are in Wilmington will know that Shiloh Baptist here in Wilmington is the oldest Black Baptist church. Ezion Fair is the second oldest Black Baptist church in the city. AME was also a strong part of the movement, and Bethel AME is here in our city, which is one of the oldest historical churches in the city of Wilmington. We have to honor these churches that stood strong and was able to survive the years that they have survived. All three churches that I've named have been around more than 100 years. And if you know anything about the movements, you know that being able to survive some of those movements was very, very difficult, but they survived. So my hats go off to them. My hats go off to even the Church of God in Christ, Bishop Charles Harrison Mason, who founded the Church of God in Christ, did a phenomenal job, prayer, fasting, seeking the face of God in the midst of all that was going on. Whatever you do, for those of you who are watching us today, make sure you always honor and respect the Black church, because at the end of the day, that's all we have. I shared in my sermon on last Sunday, we have replaced putting our face in God's book with now being a part of the Facebook. And I'm asking you to please never forget the God of our wearied years and the God of our silent tears, the God who has brought us thus far. I hope you enjoyed that. Now we're going to shift a little bit. And today we celebrated Ezion Fair, and you still have time to get to here. We have both the president of Delaware State University, who was with us at the 9 a.m. Tony Allen did a phenomenal job. And then at the 11:30, and you still have a few moments to get down here, we have the president of Lincoln University, Dr. Brenda Allen, and the Lincoln University Concert Choir will be our 11:30 guests. I'm giving a tribute to HBCUs because HBCUs have been on the scene for many, many years, starting with Lincoln University. in 1854. But in order to make sure you understand history, Cheney University was founded in 1837. But they were founded for troubled young women, and they wanted to make sure that they could learn how to read and write in 1837. But it wasn't until the early 1900s that Cheney University became a college. But Lincoln University was founded in 1854. And in 1854, John Miller Dickey, he founded Lincoln University as Ashman Institute. And for years, hundreds of years now, we have been going very, very strong. I am a proud graduate of Lincoln University, coming from the projects, coming from very humble beginnings. It was Lincoln University that formed me and showed me how to be an activist, showed me how to take little and make it much. And HBCUs do that for you. And sometimes I'm disheartened when I see those individuals who did go to an HBCU and not remembering what we've been taught, not remembering how to stay in the struggle. Even though we may have left the hood, we have to make sure that we're there to pull others out of it. And I'm very grateful for Lincoln, and I hope that you will enjoy this tribute.
Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom over me. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. Oh, freedom. Oh, freedom.
Historically black colleges and universities, both public and private, were established in the United States before the Civil Rights Act of 1964. From their inception, HBCUs provided black individuals with access to education, a right denied during slavery and segregation, offering a safe space for learning, discovery, and community building. Despite constituting only 3% of American academic institutions, HBCUs play a vital role in bridging the opportunity gap in higher education. These institutions have consistently produced influential trailblazers from minority ethnic groups, solidifying their importance in academia. Why HBCUs exist? Before the abolition of slavery in 1865, anti-literacy laws barred enslaved and free black individuals from education. Slave owners and anti-abolitionists feared that education would lead to loss of control. Even after abolition, black students faced racism and discrimination at white universities, hampering their academic success due to knowledge and readiness gaps. Recognizing the need for reform, Quaker philanthropist Richard Humphreys founded the Institution for Colored Female Youth in 1837, evolving into Cheney University of Pennsylvania. In 1854, John Miller Dickey and Sarah Emlyn Crescent founded Ashman Institute, later Lincoln University, graduating a significant amount of black physicians and attorneys in the first 100 years. The Second Morrill Act of 1890 spurred the establishment of more HBCUs, requiring states supporting racial segregation to fund public institutions for black students. Despite challenging in funding and resources, this increase in support led to more black individuals attending college, necessitating more schools. Even after the end of segregation in 1964, predominantly black institutions continued to open, now considered HBCUs. Presently, 107 HBCUs are spread across the United States. While no longer the sole path for higher education due to the Civil Rights Act of 1964, HBCUs continue to attract black students, serving as a refuge for cultural exploration and academic excellence without fear of discrimination. HBCUs offer groundbreaking STEM and liberal arts programs, affordable tuition, a dynamic atmosphere, and diverse student and faculty populations. HBCUs have seen a surge in enrollment from non-black students, comprising 24% in 2018, compared to 15% in 1976. This diverse enrollment has prompted increased federal support, with legislation strengthening educational resources, administrative capacity, and financial assistance for students. HBCUs stand as golden products of the African diaspora, embodying the strength and resilience of black people. Their rich culture and academic rigor has allowed them to persevere, as evidenced by a list of notable alumni, including Thurgood Marshall, Langston Hughes, Brenda Allen, Sherelle Parker, Clifton Brown, SZA, Stephanie Bolden, Spike Lee, Toni Morrison, and U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris. In conclusion, HBCUs will forever remain essential and valuable contributors to the academic world. In the 1800s, HBCUs rose up all over the country. Maya Angelou said, "You may write me down in your history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still, like dust, I rise." Brothers and sisters, this is our tribute to HBCUs. They have survived over 200 years, and our latter will be greater than the former.
As we continue to celebrate Black History Month, it is important not only to remember the great icons of Black excellence, but to look at the Black excellence that surrounds us every day. Great people can come from anywhere. In the words of Dr. King, not everybody can be famous, but everybody can be great, because greatness is determined by service. Let us take the time to appreciate just a fraction of the greatness and excellence that has come from our very own pews. Reuben Garnett Jr. was born in Wilmington to Florence Garnett and the late Reuben Garnett Sr. Here at Ezion Fair, he was a part of the Holy Soldiers, the Junior Ushers, the Scholarship Ministry, and participated in Sunday School. Reuben completed his undergraduate degree in sports management at the Delaware State University and finished with a 3.1 GPA. He was taken on as the DSU Wellness and Recreation Membership Services Supervisor in 2022 and appointed Mr. Wellness and Recreation in 2023. He will be pursuing his master's in sports administration and will be a graduate assistant coach for the new head football coach and former Eagles player, Deshaun Jackson. Jasmine E. Jones was born in Wilmington, the daughter of Deacon Elijah Jones and Deaconess Claudette Jones. At Ezion Fair, she was a part of the Junior Ushers, the Anointed Praise Dance Team, the Youth Choir, the Junior Trustees, and the Curry Blossoms. She graduated from Mount Pleasant High School in 2016 and attended Howard University, where she obtained a degree in business administration with a concentration on risk and insurance and a minor in leadership. Throughout her time in university, she was a part of the ROTC. She also undertook an internship at Boeing as a cost and scheduling intern. After she graduated, she took a position as a financial analyst at Amazon, where she was overlooked by higher-ups for a promotion her supervisors were poised to give to her, instead giving it to an older white woman who needed easier work. Jasmine would not stand for this and instead signed with the United States Army, in which she has now served for nearly 5 years. She has moved from a first lieutenant financial officer to a captain. In 2022, she served as a budget analyst for the 352nd Civil Affairs Command. One thing that the Joneses want to make sure that the youth know is that if you work hard, you get to play hard. But you've got to work hard first. Kyle Robert Preston was born in Wilmington, Delaware, to Deacon and Deaconess Robert Preston. Here at church, he was a part of the Holy Soldiers and served as a junior usher. Starting in 2019, Kyle served as an M1A2 armor crewman in the United States Army. He did 2 rotations in Korea in 2020. In 2021, he worked with FEMA in Dallas as a COVID-19 screener, supporting healthcare teams with vital research and strategies. In 2023, he went to Germany to train Ukrainian soldiers who had been drafted to fight in Russia. Throughout his experience, Kyle excelled at operating under pressure, enhancing safety protocols, and mentoring team members, among a long list of other highly valuable skills. After completing 4 years in the Army, Kyle went to the Vocational Training Institute in Phoenix, Arizona to become an HVAC technician. He is certified to be both a technician and a welder as of 2024. He is a proud example of what hard work and a good heart can accomplish in life. Brandon Tillery was born in Newcastle, Delaware in 1997 to Deacon Christopher Tillery and Deaconess Dina Tillery. Throughout high school, he wrestled and sang in the jazz choir. He was also a member of the Holy Soldiers, the J.L. Henry Choir, and served as a junior deacon here at Ezion Fair. Brandon graduated from the University of Maryland Eastern Shore with a bachelor's in sociology. In college, he participated in the iconic University of Maryland Eastern Shore Gospel Choir and served as Mr. Gospel for multiple years, denoting him a leader within the choir. He graduated in 2020 and serves now as a child support specialist. To our young people in church, Brandon says, keep the legacy going and always put God first, and everything will follow through. Dr. Napira Simone Sharif is the daughter of Sister Cynthia Sharif and the granddaughter of Mother Florine Johnson. Raised as an Ezion Fair Baptist church member, Napira has participated in numerous ministries over the years, including but not limited to the Praise Dance Ministry, Junior Ushers, the Youth Choir, and the Feed the Hungry program. She was always honored as a recipient of the highest awards from our EFBC scholarship program. She designed and ran a STEM program in our 2019 church summer camp. Napira received her bachelor's degree in biochemistry from the University of Maryland, College Park. She then went on to receive her Doctor of Medicine degree from The Ohio State University College of Medicine. Napira was commissioned into the United States Air Force under the Health Profession Scholarship Program. She was promoted to captain during her recent graduation in May of 2024. Napira is one of the few African Americans inducted into all of the top honor societies as a medical student. Currently, Napira is completing her residency training in otolaryngology, head and neck surgery at Tripler Army Medical Center in Honolulu, Hawaii. Following residency, Napira will be promoted to Major in the United States Air Force. Samuel D. Pratcher III was born in Wilmington and attended Salesianum High School. As a young member at Ezion Fair, he participated in Sunday School, the Scholarship Ministry, the Youth Choir, the Trustee Ministry, the Junior Ushers Ministry, and founded the Holy Soldiers. Pratcher went on to graduate from Hampton University with honors, and then attended and graduated Thomas M. Cooley Law School with his law degree. He worked first for a regional defense firm and represented insurance companies, and is now the co-founder of his own practice, Pratcher Crayer Injury Lawyers LLC. Pratcher has received numerous accolades over his years as an attorney and has ranked in Delaware's top 10 injury lawyers from 2013 to 2022. Super Lawyers selected Mr. Pratcher as a 2017 and 2018 Rising Star in the practice of law for the state of Delaware. No more than 2.5% of Delaware attorneys have been selected for that honor. Mr. Pratcher's reputation in the legal community has allowed him to be appointed to the Delaware Supreme Court Rules Committee, the Delaware Superior Court Civil Rules Committee, and the Delaware Rules of Professional Conduct Committee. Please give one last round of applause for all of the excellent young members of our church that have gone on to do great things.
There's something for everybody to do here at EFBC, starting with our youth ministries. The Warriors Cheerleaders. The Angel Tree Ministry. The Girls Serving with a Purpose. Rockin' with Jesus Youth Choir. The Scholarship Ministry. The Piercing the Darkness Ministry. The Holy Soldiers Brotherhood. And of course, the Daughters of Zion. Adult ministries include the Men's Fellowship Ministry, EFBC's Singles Ministry, the Wells of Wisdom Ministry, the Golden Angels Praise Dance Ministry, the Noonday Prayer Ministry, and the Marriage Ministry. Lastly, in-house ministries include the Greeters Ministry, the Miracles of Mercy, Sunday School Ministry, the Outreach Ministry, the Ushers Ministry, and the Transportation Ministry. All this in store at Ezion Fair Baptist Church.
Here are praiseworthy choirs every Sunday, including the Israel Men's Praise Team.
I feel it inside of me, telling me to go ahead.
The Ezion Men's Choir. The Rockin' with Jesus Youth Choir.
Open your mouth, say so. Open your mouth. Open your mouth, say so. Say it, come. Open your mouth, say so.
The Shabbat Praise Team.
You can have it. Reach up and grab it.
The Dodd Choir.
It's sorrow, my hope for tomorrow.
The J.L. Henry Choir. The Jones Family Praise Team.
God is my everything. Come on, y'all, put your hands together. Hey, one more time, God.
And the Judah Youth Praise Team.
Keep on smiling.
Inquire about joining the music ministry today.
And we're back. I hope you enjoyed the tribute we've given to you as it relates to the historically black colleges. The HBCUs have done so many things, so many wonderful things in the African-American community. We had very little resources, but produced some of the greatest doctors and lawyers and judges in the country as it relates to the African-American community. Somebody asked the question once, were there any Caucasians at the African-American universities? Yes, there were. Please don't we were never discriminative. But I often say, when we couldn't go anywhere else, That's when the Lincolns and the Howards and the Morgans and the Coppin states and all of those were formed in order that we may truly be able to be educated. I thank God for HBCUs every day. Hampton University is one of those institutions that I always admire. As a matter of fact, I happen to know the president of Hampton very, very, very well. Morehouse College, Spelman College, Clark Atlanta. We can go on Shaw University. We can just go on and on. North Carolina A&T. We can go on and on. I keep naming them because I want all of you who have been a part of these institutions to know that it was the institutions that have accepted us and have received us. Bethune-Cookman College came to my mind because she started that college with just $20. And now look at it today. There's just so much rich history as it relates to those HBCUs. And I hope that you enjoyed it. And I hope that you would take some time for your young people who are getting ready to go to college. Consider HBCUs. Delaware State University is one of the leading HBCUs. And now sometimes when you are among our area and you see Delaware State and you'll say, well, they may not be what it needs to be. Trust me when I tell you, Delaware State University has an aerodynamic program. As a matter of fact, next week, you're going to see Dr. Tony Allen on the show with us because we're going to do some interviews with him as well as Dr. Brenda Allen. But you cannot discount Delaware State University, the multimedia program that they have, the sciences, the arts that they have. It's just second to none. And believe it or not, Delaware State was the first HBCU to purchase a historically white college. You know, it used to be Wesley University, but now it's all Delaware State University. And I give credit to the fact that HBCUs have come a very long way. So I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you will take time to allow your young people, your grandchildren, your children to know that HBCUs really matter and they are very powerful and they build character. That's important. So I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be right back.
This land we love belongs to all of us. Yet not everyone is treated equally. Right now, millions of Americans are fighting for the things promised to all by the Constitution. Learn how the ACLU is defending the right to vote, free speech, and other civil liberties at myaclu.org.
I may be known for my powerhouse singing voice, but right now, I want you to listen to this. The #1 cancer women face is breast cancer. While advances have been made in prevention, early diagnosis, and treatment through research, Black women have a 41% higher rate of death from breast cancer. Let's come together for all women. Remember to get your mammograms and join me in supporting the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Together, let's just stop breast cancer forever.
And we're back. I hope you enjoyed today's show. This is Black History Month, and while our history is much stronger than just 28 or 29 days in a year, I want to make sure that the time that we have designated for it to be Black History Month, for us to really celebrate the contributions that African Americans have made to the society upon which we live in. I hope you enjoyed it. All month long, Ezion Fair will be celebrating. First Sunday, we celebrated the Black Church. Today, we celebrate HBCUs. Next Sunday, we celebrate excellence in America from the African American community. And then the following Sunday, we're going to do the arts, excellence in art from the African American community. I just want to say to those of you who have been coming, those of you who are planning to come, starting this week, we had the two presidents of the two major universities in our area, Lincoln University as well as Delaware State University. Next week, we intended to have the first Black mayor for the city of Philadelphia. But guess who we're going to have? We're going to have the first Black mayor for the city of Wilmington. As we think about excellence in the African American community coming together, we've asked if the Honorable James Seals would come. He so graciously accepted, and he will be our 9 a.m. speaker. And then at 11:30, we will have the brand newly elected as well as current mayor for the city of Philadelphia, the first woman and the first African-American woman to serve as mayor for the city of Philadelphia. Sherelle Parker will be our speaker. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be awesome. And I hope that you will join us at 11:30. Many of the politicians have already shared with me they're going to be giving some tributes, and we want to honor her because this is just a major accomplishment. The fourth largest city in our nation, and an African-American female has won that slot. And I'm very grateful for that. And that's what you call excellence in America. Same with James Sills. It was very difficult for him to make it, but the African-American people came together and he won it here in the city of Wilmington. So next week is going to be hot. It's going to be popping. And then on the fourth Sunday, we're going to have the arts, where we're going to have our fine arts and music ministries. Will be doing so many wonderful things. The dance ministry will be dancing, and I'm looking forward to it. So why don't you make sure you tell somebody to join you at Ezion Fair, 1400 B Street, where we're going to be celebrating African American Month in a very, very strong and powerful way. Until the next time we get together, may the Lord God bless you real good.
Thank you for watching this episode of Coffee with Curry. Tune in next week, Sunday at 11 a.m.
Local news and politics in the city of Wilmington, Delaware. The latest headlines with your host, Dr. C.T. Curry.
But they get rich, getting new cars, getting new houses, getting new opportunities, but the community is still getting nothing.
And co-host, Kobe Owens.
And from that time, we have slowly seen our democracy become under attack.
Weekly episodes. Sundays at 5 p.m. The Source. Join us live for our weekly worship. Every Sunday at 8 a.m. on Facebook and YouTube.
Well, Pastor, I'm doing the best I can, but I still gotta have a little Chardonnay, and I still gotta have a little this, and I gotta still sneak around. The devil is a liar. That's an excuse.
Wilmington's most exciting church.
Hey, this is Pastor Curry, pastor of the Ezion Fair Baptist Church, Wilmington's most exciting church, the church that love ya and anything you can do about it. What we're going to do today is we're going to have a real good conversation. I'm excited. Come on! Every Sunday at 11 a.m. Why don't you call somebody real quickly? Tell them Coffee with Curry is on. And let's get after it.